In any good sewing operation, posture is crucial to a good outcome. If you'll notice, I'm sitting at my sewing machine a little off center from the needle, so my body is aligned more to the left than to the right, so that I can pull fabric through this way. I also have good foot position on my pedal clutch. It's important to note that each sewer is going to want a different position in their pedal in order to give you a comfortable push when engaging the sewing machine. I'm also sitting upright in my ergonomic chair. In other words, not slumping. You'll have a backache by the end of the day if not. So I've aligned myself to the sewing machine and I'm ready to sew. Instead of having to measure everything each time you sew, you should utilize these things on your plate. In other words, taking a ruler, aligning it with the needle, and deciding that the edge of that screw is a 1/2 inch mark off of your needle, as well as the inside of your feed dog could be 1/8 of an inch. Or better yet, you could go over here to this screw and you become somewhere around 1 5/8 inches. So you can utilize a lot of different marks on these plates to give you units of measurement, therefore not having to pull out a ruler any longer. So now I'm going to show you a straight stitch, 1/2 inch off the edge with speed. We're going to take our piece, I'm aligning it to my 1/2 inch mark, which was this screw, the edge. Lift your presser foot underneath, hold your threads back, sink your needle, back stitch, locking that in place. Come back forward a couple of stitches, make sure everything's aligned. Take your hands, holding your fabric here, again here, and we're going to guide it against that edge. All the while I'm watching that edge with my eyesight. You'll notice that I'm constantly moving my hand like this. It actually helps keep it in alignment because it wants to move back and forth. Slow down, back stitch, come forward, needle bar up, presser foot up, pull back, clip threads. You now have a straight, consistent seam, a 1/2 inch gauge. So when making a double stitch and utilizing the presser foot this time as a guide, from the stitch line over, you're going to have approximately a 1/4 inch allowance. Start sewing, back, and my eye is watching this area right here. This is going to be my guide as to how this sews. While I'm sewing, I'm constantly pulling this fabric so as not to kick it out and have an uneven stitch. I have a little bit of tension on my hand down here to help hold it from moving this way. At the end, slow down, back stitch, needle bar up, presser foot up, pull the thread back, and trim. There is your 1/4 inch gauge double needle lock stitch. Perfectly even.